I have to get more serious about stuff. Okay, I hear me. Do you hear you?
There you are. All right. Should we hang up the phone?
Oh, no. Oh, yeah. Good idea.
So
I was like, no,
we
I
don't get
don't.
any kind of feedback.
Yeah. So are you there? Yeah. I
You don't
don't
see
see
it?
you. That's weird.
Oh, you know what? I didn't get a video of myself either. Oh, no. You know why, Becky? Hold on. Give me a second.
I just want to
Because
make sure everything is working.
No, I didn't open the my PC. I had my big monitor. I was on my big. Didn't even think twice about that.
Okay, awesome.
right.
I think everything's okay. I'm gonna make you the official host. So if you can just leave it open, but if you have any issues, just call me and I'll have my computer right in the bag.
Yeah, the only issue is that I can think of is my computer will probably go into sleep mode. The screensaver, but I assume that once I resurrect it, I just hit, get it started again, I'll still be connected.
Yes, and I think so if you get disconnected, I'll be able to open up again. I should be able, if you'll just call my cell phone if there's any problems.
So you'll be available at around 6:30 if that happens.
Probably about 6. I'm probably getting dropped off. It might not be till like 6:35 or 6:40.
How about 6:15?
I'm gonna still be in traffic then in the car.
Okay, all right. I'm just gonna keep coming up and make sure my computer doesn't go to sleep.
Okay, or if we're a few minutes late, I don't think people will panic.
Okay.
I know what, I'll just sit down in the terminal right when I enter and make sure everything's okay right at 6:30.
Well, I'll send you a text one way or the other. So at 6:30, 6:25, I'm gonna send you a text and hopefully it's gonna say I'm in, no worries.
Okay. All right. And otherwise I'll sit down and make sure we got it worked out.
All right, that sounds good, Becky.
Okay, so right now I want to make sure you're officially, yep, you're the host.
I see it.
So and you're not gonna log out. And I'll just leave and wish you the best of luck and I'll
all right.
check in if I can.
Like I said, I'll send you a text at 6:25, 6:30 and let you know how it went.
Great. I appreciate it.
No problem. Safe travels. See you.
Thank you.
Bye.
Don't close it.
No, I'm not closing it.
Oh.
You need to close yours though, right? Yeah, okay. 34.8. been up a week, no. Hello. There's going to be no Becky today, so I'm actually the host on this meeting.
Well, I would like mine over easy.
Oh, okay, yes.
All right.
And so Becky will not be here. Did I just say that?
Mhm.
Becky will not be here.
Is everything okay, George?
Becky's traveling and she got hung up and she's not going to be able to get
Okay.
log in. She's down in Philly visiting the grandson.
I saw that
Yay.
she was on the camera.
Oh, good.
So I guess we got everybody here.
Okay.
So I made one change to the minutes because I had excluded Peg. I had her as absent, but she actually was here. So I put her back up.
Thank you.
You're
Peg,
on,
you're
you're on mute, Peg. You're on
Yes,
mute, yeah.
I said I must make a big impression.
Or I just copied the minutes from the previous meeting.
No, that's fine, that's fine. And it was, but that's the thing I was trying to get across in those emails when you sent the
You know,
minutes.
Right, I got the second part. I was looking at the part about April being assigned to the superintendent. I thought that's what I had missed.
Yeah,
Yeah, just a miscommute. Yeah, but that's fine. No, thanks for letting me know. I definitely made that change. I don't
okay.
know.
Everything else looked good to me. What about April and,
Yeah, I thought it was
You
great.
look great.
okay, so,
I
shall
make a
we,
motion to approve the minutes.
okay?
Second.
Overnight aside.
Make me some meal.
Ross, I,
And Stein,
good,
Eisenstein.
good.
Ooh, wow.
So
That's close, but not exactly.
No, it's more
I-
Frankenstein.
Yes, there you
okay,
go.
so, and we did, last meeting, we did approve April. I'm going to number 3 right away on the minutes. We did approve her. Didn't we talk about you being on the highway super thing?
We did, yeah, it's in the
Yes.
minutes.
I thought we did vote on that, so that's done. And is on number 2 of the minutes, does everybody agree with the wording on that? I know Becky was working on that.
Yeah,
He
we
had sent
scribbled
me,
it
we
out.
agreed to the wording. Let me go back to it. I thought we approved these minutes. She actually sent me the wording. So
Right,
we had agreed on the wording. She came up with something that we all agreed with and she sent it to me and I pasted it right in.
great, okay.
Yeah, that was
So
hard.
the only, future
By
business
committee.
is I envision this being a pretty short meeting unless there's new business that's not on. One thing that we did talk about was we need another member, and somebody mentioned that they thought somebody might be interested. Have we heard anything? Do we know what's?
I'll follow up with Becky or Paul. It was a woman who was on the school committee for a number of years. I talked to her at
Okay.
annual town meeting. Jen Malcolm Brown.
Okay.
And
Oh,
they had
yeah,
approached her about the finance committee and she wasn't comfortable with it. Unlike April, but when I talked to her and I asked her why, she told me she wasn't comfortable with it. She didn't have finance experience. I said, what about personnel board experience? She's like, oh, HR, no problem. So
Okay.
I think she'd be great. I know she's had experience with the school committee, has kids in the school. So she knows a little about government and she's at town meetings, so she cares. So, she's interested
So-
enough.
Yeah.
Did you
So
tell her
I'll-
we have fun?
I'm sorry.
Did you tell her we have fun?
I
Yeah.
should have.
Yeah.
that's important.
I don't know if
That's
that helps or that hurts.
Well, if we at
It
least have a nice
depends.
balance of a little fun and work, right? I think
Yeah.
we balanced it well
Yeah.
here.
I think it took a decade, but I think we finally figured it out.
Yeah.
Well,
I think we've done
It's
a
a
lot.
balancing act.
George, said if you feel comfortable approaching her, that would be good. And then I
Well,
don't know.
probably, I'll ask Becky, but we'll probably ask Paul to approach her. Paul,
Right, okay.
Lions.
All right.
That's what I was going to ask. I was going to ask, what is the procedure? And that makes sense.
Yeah.
Okay.
Viewpoints. Okay. That's great.
Okay, so we're
Yeah,
moving
I think
on.
she'd be good.
Okay, moving on to future business or business. The personnel handbook policies, review and updates, classification schedules, policies and procedures manual. Anything
Nothing.
new? Nothing?
No, I've
No.
scanned it all in. I just have to get it in so Becky and I can,
And
Great.
Becky and I, we're more than halfway done. And then I think what we need to do is really make a concerted effort this fall and make a deadline. Like, how
That's a
about by
great idea.
Thanksgiving, we will have that done or
That's a
not,
great
but by
idea.
thanks
You
or
think so? I think
Yeah.
that's, the setting a
would be-
deadline is a good idea because when January rolls around, we're not thinking about that anymore.
that's right. That's what happens is, it
Well, we go
starts to
into town
become
meeting stuff or
town meeting.
Right.
Yeah,
negotiations or,
yes.
So why don't we say?
Thanksgiving.
Let's say this fall, rather than saying November or December, let's say our goal is to finish this up. A, B, and C under future business by
Perfect.
the end of fall, if possible, if possible. It might not be possible.
It should be possible.
it should be.
Yeah, it should be. When the weather gets bad, it's more possible.
Yeah.
Right.
Exactly.
That always good. All right, so which item was that? Set a
That's
deadline?
on the
Classification,
classification.
the update book, policy book.
Okay,
Both of them.
It's, yeah.
We can get 'em both done. I have faith in.
all
Yeah.
right, so you're saying
But you
setting
say
a
both.
deadline for both of them.
There's no huge edits, I don't think, to the policies. It's just cleaning them up, adding a few things and, that's all.
And that's something you are highly skilled at. Yes.
Cleaning them up.
Yes. Cleaning
Well-
up, but formatting things and make them, put them in a way that
Yes.
makes sense.
Yeah.
That's readable, and that's really important.
So
I'm
when
gonna
you,
say,
sorry,
I'm gonna say expect to complete by. I'm not gonna say deadline. I'm just gonna say expect to be completed by.
right.
And what was the date again?
Well, I said Thanksgiving,
Well,
but Peg was
maybe,
giving me,
I think just say by late, well, we could say by December or by Thanksgiving if we want. If you guys
Yeah.
feel, I'm not
I-
doing this stuff, so you,
How
The
about by-
Thanksgiving
How
would-
about by the November meeting?
November
Or-
8th.
Well, the November meeting is usually the third Thursday.
right.
And
Wow.
Thanksgiving's the fourth Thursday. So,
Okay, that would be
or is it the
perfect.
third? Well,
We
we
are
want to
not,
make sure that we don't have our meeting on Thanksgiving.
no, we will not have our meeting.
We will
on-
not do.
Put that in the minutes.
Well, those seem to have, they like
Okay.
sneak in a little bit, right? It always sneaks in. A holiday will sneak up even though it doesn't really move anywhere.
Right,
True as
Right.
this.
and town meeting is around the corner.
Right.
What's the
Okay.
other thing?
So
Yeah, I
you
haven't,
said-
I
You
haven't heard
said,
from,
can I ask a question?
Yeah.
You said both. Now, there's three things listed there. There's the personnel handbook policies. Are we talking about that?
Yes.
And classification schedules?
yes.
We also talking about the policy and procedures manual? Or that's something we sort of got started on and never, George, that
That
was
one
your
might
idea.
take a little longer, maybe. I
Yeah,
don't know.
okay. So we're talking about the
The
first
first
two.
two, yeah.
Personnel handbook.
Yeah,
policy.
all right. Yeah, and then we can follow up in the other one. Well, yeah, we did have a lot of conversation about that, and I remember Becky had some opinions about it.
Hmm.
Yeah, it's probably something we should put on the agenda just to talk about.
Right,
Yes.
okay.
Well,
But
it's
not
in- it-
until let's finish the other two first.
Right. But it would be interesting to see if other towns had policies and procedure, if there were any models out there or not, that
Yeah,
we
no,
can
that's
learn a
true.
lot.
For the personnel board, you mean?
Yeah,
There are a lot of models, and in fact, I remember that Melody and myself were going to look at some options, and I found some that are very simple. And what spurred this conversation, now that you say that, was the turnover of the fire chief.
Yep.
And I think we were thinking of the superintendent, having something that if we lost an employee in short notice, we'd have kind of a guide to help an acting or replacement person take over the job, just what are the key things that need to be done, and maybe to another level, how they get done.
When I was first on the select board, the Mike Vinsky and Mike DeCara were already thinking about it, and we ended up having some working sessions. We created one for the select board. You know, I
That'd be
mean,
interesting. Did it get accepted? I mean, is it
Yeah,
used?
it did.
Huh.
I can forward it because I looked at it the other day, so I'll forward it so you guys can have it.
Oh,
I think it's a
good.
good
I'm not
idea
sure,
because,
it may not be applicable to a job situation, right? But we have turnover all the time,
Mhm.
yeah, I think
the select
I think
board.
what we want is a template. So we should look at it and consider it as a possible
Okay.
template for,
All right, I'll email it. I'll email it when we get off,
Okay.
Perfect,
everybody.
great,
perfect.
sounds
great.
good.
Anything
So,
else?
is there anything else?
I just
Not
wanted to ask April about the superintendent search and where that is.
I haven't, I wanted to ask Becky, I have not seen if it's been advertised. I had a nice talk with Tim on the road the other day when he was grading. He's looking at the end of September. So that's 2 months.
September 30th.
Yes.
We need to get to it though, right?
Yes. So, and I have no idea if it's been advertised, if we have any internal candidates or
I
external.
don't have any updates. She didn't update anything on the select board last night, so.
So we shall see. Well, that seems very pressing, that
Right.
Yes.
it's,
Yeah.
And it's very
otherwise
important.
we're all out there with our
Yeah.
shovels.
Given the weather.
Yeah,
Yeah.
or we're out there with chains on our tires. Yes,
Yeah. And I
all
did
kinds of
say,
things.
I did let Tim know that he's just been phenomenal. And over the years, he has just, and it would be nice. Well, I guess that would be a select board thing to do, would be to thank him. I don't know if there's anything being done in his honor. He
Oh, we
probably
should.
just
I mean, we should.
Yeah.
Walter kind of had something, so I think he should.
Yeah,
Mm,
even
no
if he doesn't
question.
want to.
Even if
And I
it's,
agree with April. He's been great. He
Yeah.
really is great. He's
Yeah.
easy to work with. I like his handwriting. When he ends the
that
budgets,
was
he uses cursive.
beautiful.
Best handwriting. He gets that award.
Can he
Yeah,
hand
he's-
it off? Like,
It's
can-
it's a
that'd be
throwback.
It is. My dad, I came across some of my dad's old mechanic stuff, and then my mom's stuff. My dad had beautiful handwriting too.
Well, I think there was a generation where, it
Yeah.
was a big deal. It was
He's-
important. I think there
he's
was lots
our
of
age.
generations up until maybe mine.
Yeah, he's 68. He's a child of 68.
Yeah, he looks good
My
for
dad would have
68.
been,
Yeah.
my dad would have been 83.
Wow.
Oh God, you lost him way too young. Yeah.
Who is, this is not business, but who is the Clark? It wasn't,
Charlie
who-
Clark, the old man, Charlie,
Oh,
the old man. Yeah. He passed away on the 17th.
oh, and so that's Bill's dad?
No, that's Clark's Auto Wrecking. He's the one that started the auto wrecking company.
Are
Oh,
they family? Are they related?
Yes.
Oh, of course they are.
Yes.
I never-
I
The
know,
whole
but I never
corner.
really knew
And
if
and
they
to
were.
bring it in, my grandfather's mother was a Clark.
oh my gosh.
I'm really
Wow.
too. Yeah.
What years were those? Do you know?
What years?
Yeah.
So my grandfather was born in 1923. So Lila she was probably born in the 1800s. I could answer that question. I have to look it up.
That would be cool to know, but nah, don't go out of your way.
No,
You know,
I
one
haven't.
other-
My grandmother had a book where she had everything written down. It was
Oh,
Put
like-
it
that
in
would
the
be-
minutes, George. Put
That's
it in
a-
the
that-
minutes.
That's a
Okay,
treasure.
got it.
Expecting.
Yeah.
To
But the
hear.
fact-
Leslie's
Melissa.
great for genealogy also in town. Just
Oh,
so you
yes.
know.
Yeah, the town historian.
Yes.
That's how I found out that I'm not second generation Shutesburyan. I'm fourth,
Oh my God.
fifth generation Shutesburyan.
And you didn't know that?
Nope.
Wow,
Wow.
that is something. Wow.
So it would be my great grandparents, Erastus and Rosetta, lived in
Oh,
Shutesbury.
Rastus and Rosetta.
And what are all the names? Because
Those were my grandfather was Robert Gross. My grandmother was Mariel. His mom was Lila Clark.
That's-
I don't remember his father's name. He was gone way before I was born.
yeah.
Yeah, but my grandmother was Mariel Irene. My grandfather is Robert Gross. Lila Clark Gross. So yeah,
Wow.
I'll come with a little
Very
history.
impressive.
Yeah. So yeah,
Yeah.
fifth generation. It was a surprise to my sister and I.
That's interesting. I walk in the cemetery a lot because Hank likes to do a little walk there in the afternoons, and so there's the make peace. I mean, I feel like there's people I know, and the names. There's a lot of rich history.
There is, yeah.
But fifth generation, wow.
Some of those stones are really old. The Lake Wyola one, the stones are super old.
Yeah.
And some young people too. Some people died, back then medicine was a long way away.
And
Yeah.
childbirth was one of the causes for women. Yep.
Yeah,
And
yeah.
babies,
And
yeah,
baby.
a lot of babies.
so
Yeah.
hard. Listen,
Well-
I hate to bring us back to business, but one thing we might want to do is schedule our next minutes meetings.
meeting.
We've got one scheduled for August, but beyond that, we don't have the dates down.
Okay, when's our next, what is the
No,
August one?
August
is
17th,
17th.
Okay,
It's
I
the
think
third
September
Thursday,
20.
right?
yeah.
Yeah.
In
So I think-
September,
September 21st.
Yes, that's what I see.
Okay, let's do it.
in October,
19th?
I don't have my calendar in front of me.
I don't either.
Oh, give me a second to look.
I think it's 19th.
At
That's
6:30 again, guys. Just want to make sure.
Yeah.
Yes, always.
Always 6:30. Okay.
Are you
Unless somebody-
saying? Are you
Yeah.
saying the 19th is the third week in October? Wow,
Third Thursday.
wow,
Well, we'll wait until you see November. It's the 16th.
wow,
It's the way they're falling.
right.
I think it's July that sets it for the next 4 or 5 months. For
Oh, good point.
the dates all shift up.
November 16th, wow.
Would have been my father's
Okay.
95th birthday.
Oh,
Yeah. So he was born five years after your grandmother
and my
or
mother was born the same year as your grandfather.
Yeah, my grandmother was born at 25. 1925. My
Well,
dad
I
was
have
born in
to tell you,
37.
My dad was born in 15.
Wow.
Wow,
Dad. So don't go any further.
no. Well, my dad was 1913. I mean, he would,
Really?
yeah,
Your
I
dad
was-
would have been 110 years old this year?
yeah, he would have.
Yeah.
He would have.
Wow.
My dad died when he was 93 and my mom died when she was 96 and she was
Good
18.
team.
Wow,
good
yeah,
team.
it's 1918. So I go way back.
The change, imagine the change they saw from 1918 until 93 years later.
I used to think that
They-
about my
the
grandparents.
technology. Yeah.
Yeah, my grandparents were born in 1895, right? They died, one of them died at 98, my grandfather George. I imagine the difference between,
Right.
it's just incredible.
The ice box became the refrigerator, right? The
Electricity.
TV was invented, the car was invented,
Radio was invented,
right?
electricity, the
my
automobile.
My grandmother used horse and buggies up in New Hampshire where they farmed, and she talked about seeing somebody land on the moon. I mean, it's like, but we're in the same spread. It's
Yeah.
like, what was your email address when you were in high school?
Yeah.
It's
What about
Yeah, didn't have
artificial
one,
intelligence?
Didn't have one.
yes.
God, that's
And now
scary.
Chat GBT and AI.
Yeah.
It's frightening, really frightening to me. Worry
Yeah.
about my kids.
Well, I think
Yeah,
it's
at least
important
There's
we
a lot of people
don't
talking about it.
we don't want to lose our humanity. I mean, that's, and I think that, this committee has really held on to humanity. I mean, I think that, but no, I think that that's part of why we work well, is that, we're really
That should
thinking
be
about
our
the people.
logo. The personnel board, they work well with humanity.
Yes.
That's
We're
great.
gonna put- It's gonna be our
You know the
logo.
joke about HR, right?
Oh,
No,
HR, human resources, they're neither human nor a resource.
yeah,
That's what most people in
Oh.
a corporation will tell you.
but our job is not just straight HR. I mean, we're looking at policy, and
No,
we're
that's-
also, I mean, I think the work that we've done to raise people's salaries, I think that's been really valuable.
yes.
You
I
know.
have
It's actually been a fun process. It's both
Yes.
a neat process to go through.
Yes.
Yeah, we've established some good processes, and the classification is a great process. The thing
Yes.
is, too, we reacted to the economy, because if we weren't paying people, we'd be struggling to keep, and
Yeah.
Mhm.
it's hard for municipal government, especially in some of the specialized positions.
And we've got a great group of people working for the town.
Yeah.
We
We do.
really,
do.
really do.
And we solved the assessor's office problem, the
Yes.
assessor's problem.
That was
That's
a
a
Yeah.
big
good
one.
solution too, yeah.
That was huge.
Other places don't have that. Other towns don't have that option. I don't know, but they will.
Yeah,
Right.
it's hard because a small town like us, to hire a full-time person, these are professionals with real skills. They don't want to work part-time. They want to work a full-time job, and we can't offer that. We just don't have the level of work.
And having gone through that course, I finally finished it. Yay.
Yeah,
Having gone-
congratulations.
But having gone through that, as you have, it's very complicated. That was just 101. It's very complicated.
Yeah.
Oy.
So I have a
Okay.
question. I missed it or something. Why did you go through, you both did 101 assessors or assessment?
We're both been assigned to the Board of Assessors. We both were hired as members of the Board of Assessors.
Did that happen when I was gone?
I don't think it goes through
It's-
Personnel Board.
And yeah, sort of
Yeah,
lands
it-
with the select board.
That's right. You guys did it.
We did. See, we're
Uh-oh.
sharing humanity, Peg. We're sharing humanity. with-
Uh-oh.
Right.
But it,
So that wasn't, so how long has that been? See, I was gone, wait. the whole
February.
thing.
July, the end of June, I think.
Yeah, February for April and March for me, I think.
yeah,
Uh-huh. So
yeah.
you're part-time? You're part-time.
Well, there's a stipend attached to it, but it's really, I feel like we're the backstop to the professional, but there's a lot you have to understand.
Yeah,
Right.
there is. It's pretty broad. We meet once a month, and basically we approve a lot of documents and reports. We have to sign off on many different things. And so we need to understand at a basic level how it all works. And right now we rely a lot on Leslie
Leslie's
Bracebridge.
done so much.
She sure has. She stepped right up.
There's
It
all
really
these
does.
terms like the 8 of 58 or the document of lists. I mean, or the arms, like all the
Form
terminology.
of lists. Yeah, yeah.
Yes.
And all the exemptions and some exemptions you can have on another one, and other exemptions you can't have other exemptions. Yeah, it's pretty, and some have to be adopted by the town, so we need to
Yes.
check and see which ones we adopted. So it's a lot to think about.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Well, I'm glad you're
But
doing it.
we got good
I do
people in the
too.
office. That makes a big difference.
Yeah. It's been fun. It's been really interesting learning this, but I
Yeah.
have so much more to learn.
Well, the
Yeah.
101 was tricky too. The classes, there was so much information, and the tests were not necessarily easy. There was some sweat doing that, but,
Oh, yeah. Oh, absolutely. I didn't get
but we're definitely
100.
smarter for it.
You get a certificate at the end you can hang on the wall after you take the class.
That's a good, I don't know. I'll have to
Yeah,
look. I
just-
don't recall.
We should, maybe there should be a parade or something.
Maybe
I
put
don't know.
music
Most
out there.
taxpayers wouldn't be too impressed. I hate
No,
to tell you.
probably not, but it's so important. This is how we get our money. This
Yeah.
is how we run the town.
Number one source of revenue.
Yes. But it's also collaborating the whole financial team. That's the coordination I never understood, where that fits. It's all important,
Yes.
we're all doing a part. Yes.
Yes. Yeah, we're doing a lot of parts. April is now on the finance committee as well, by the way.
I sat down one day
April, I
and
thought
said,
you retired.
I did.
You too, George.
Yeah. Well,
But no-
people ask me, I was at a little high school reunion the other day, and just some friends, and what do you do now that you're retired? I said, well, I'm on 3 boards in my town.
Yes.
That's usually the
But
first
thank
thing I
God that you don't get paid for it,
So April, are you there to replace Melody? Are you taking her position?
Yes, yes. So that, yeah. And I just decided, whatever George is doing, I thought maybe I
Yeah.
should do that too.
I'm glad I'm your inspiration.
Setting the standard for those that retire in Shutesbury.
Yeah, I
but
guess so, huh? Yeah, that's true. I did retire before April.
No, but there is, I think learning the assessor's piece was like, oh, now I get the financial, they're very linked.
They're interconnected.
Yeah, for me,
Yes.
it wasn't quite as big of a step because I already knew how the tax rate worked and how the whole tax side and the tax levy part worked. Although the exemptions and then what property is not subject to tax and what isn't, all that
And then
stuff.
manufacturing corporations.
Yeah, in the trustee
Yes.
stuff, when property's owned by a trust, it's treated differently depending on the type of
Yes.
trust. That was chapter 1. That was tricky.
That was very tricky.
Yeah. So
Wow.
that's
And
why
I was thinking that the money machine at the AC is not taxed as personal property. But the jukebox is.
oh boy, here we go.
Because it's an
All right,
asset.
this is the personnel board.
Okay.
Okay, so in
Bada bing, bada bang.
it's like I think if we're done, we're done.
I
Do we
do
have
too.
anything else to
We are
discuss?
doing.
Yeah.
I make a motion,
Yeah.
we adjourn.
And
I
I'll
will
second.
it. I'll third.
Third it, and I'll fourth it.
Okay,
Okay.
are we adjourning?
Yeah, we have to
done-
do a roll call vote, the whole Zoom thing.
Arvanitis, aye.
Ross, I.
Make peace O'Neill, aye.
And Stein Eye.
Okay,
Does anybody
right.
ever go to, does anybody ever go to Tully Lake? Do you guys know Tully Lake?
Yeah.
Yeah, I love it.
Both parking lots are completely underwater.
Well, that's what it's meant
Still?
for. It's a
The
flood-
canoe parking lot is underwater right up to the road. And the
Whoa.
other parking lot is completely underwater. They
I'm glad-
closed it.
Wow. I'm glad we didn't head up there with our boats.
Yeah.
You wouldn't have been able to put your sailboat on, but your canoe and your kayak you could.
yeah. Interesting.
No, the sailboat's moored up
So
at
the
the
islands
harbor.
are all, or most of them are all covered. If the parking lots, those really low ones are all covered.
You're right.
Yeah, you have to carry your canoe in, and you got to walk around the gate to get it there,
No,
Mm.
or kayak. Yeah, I've never seen it like it is. You can't park in either of the parking lots.
well, where my sailboat's up at the Harriman Reservoir, and it was almost filled to the brim. I've never seen it that high. I mean, that's a reservoir. Well, the Tully is also a reservoir. It's flood
Well,
control.
yeah,
Tully was
Tully's
built
a,
for flooding.
yeah,
It's a
flood
flood
control.
control.
For flooding, yeah.
and right now they don't want to release any of the water because the Connecticut's so high.
We've
I'm
been
so glad I
watching that
didn't
every
head up
day. My field office is right next to it. Not right
Yeah,
now.
has it come down at all? Can you tell?
So it's hard. What's hard to tell is because there's so much coming over the Hoyoke Dam and they had to release a little bit to keep